Yes, I am there. Can you hear me?
Welcome. Dr. Otieno is currently employed permanently as a lecturer in the Department of Physics and Material Science at Maseno University in Kenya. His role involves teaching and supervision of undergraduate and postgraduate students from physics and other faculties such as education science. Francis' research projects look into the fabrication and characterization of solar devices, including thin-film solar cells, organic solar cells, dye-sensitized solar cells, perovskites, with the view to enhance performance using plasmonics, spectral conversion, and variety. Prior to joining Maseno, Francis was a postdoctoral fellow at the School of Physics and Chemistry at Wits University, South Africa. His project entailed the use of synchrotron techniques to characterize solid oxide cells, thin films, and organic solar cells by synchrotron techniques for African Technology Global Change Research Fund. Welcome, and over to you, Dr. Otieno.
Thank you so much, Ella, for the long introduction. Can you hear me? I hope I'm audible now. That my slides can be seen.
Yes, we can see.
Okay, thank you so much. I just want an assurance that you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Perfect. All right, so my name is Francis. I think I'm happy to be back home because West has been home for the last many years. So sharing with colleagues, former colleagues, and still colleagues now is a privilege. I was given a title, Paying It Forward, and for the first time, I was lost because I think there are so many things to say after leaving WITS. There are so many challenges that one faces. There are so many abnormal trajectories that you find outside there, and you wish that you could remain in WITS forever. But with that said, we have to move on and make an impact in our environment. And that's the best way to make it back home, which I think the journey has not been very smooth, but fulfilling. So I come from Maseno University. Maseno is situated along the equator in Kenya. And this is the picture that you are likely to meet. So we are in a very forested area. So monkeys will be your daily friends when you enter the gate of Maseno. We take them as part of us because we meet them everywhere. And if you look at the map, we are in South Africa. We are on the Eastern Africa. So you can look at the cross here with the pointer. So from here going up, this is where we are. And I think the first time you land in Kenya, you'll be in Nairobi. My university is in the western part, which border Uganda on the other side. We are privileged to be next to the freshwater lake, Lake Victoria. And so I live in this town called Kisumu, and the university is just one university along the equity in the entire world. So it's a privilege that we have. So we enjoy all the features that come with living along the equator. We have enough rainfall, we have green atmosphere that will meet you when you get to Maseno. Now, you see, the challenges we meet when we leave a place like this, and where you call it home, either as doing PhD or masters, they cut across and they are almost similar everywhere, because the first thing that you hit you is lack of research facilities where you're posted. So when you finish the PhD, we are all looking for a job. and the best job you want to be placed as a lecturer somewhere. And the first, you're given that letter and you're so happy to get an appointment, but they don't tell you what is awaiting you. So you get to the university and you find that the norm that you're used at WITS or at PhD university has changed. So there's no facilities. You have a crazy workload. You guys are talking about workload. As we are talking about a class of 400 and you're managing it alone. You are the internal and you set the exams, you teach the students, you do everything, and you're supposed to coordinate with the external examiner. So it is sometimes not easy. There's pressure to deliver. You come back home, like some of us, we are coming with the view that we want to enhance technology. And the first thing is they are looking forward to something new, something that you brought from abroad. So the expectations is very, very, so the pressure is a lot. You disconnect from the research. You come here.
Dr. Otieno?
Working labs. Yes.
Can you hear us now?
I can hear you, Pierre. Can you hear me?
We cannot follow properly what you are saying. Maybe one of the things to improve the signal, can you switch off your camera? Maybe it can help. I don't know.
Yeah, done.
But your signal.
Can you hear me now?
Your signal is not stable, so I don't know how far we can. But let's try again. Yeah, you can carry on.
Okay. So I'm here. Can you now hear me? Can you see my slide?
You can.
Okay. So I was just taking you through some of the challenges that we meet, and another struggle that you have is how to pull a research team, because you're coming from an environment where you're used to a research team that is organized and is collaborating across departments, across schools, and you get here and that is not the case. So those are the challenges that you face on the ground. And of course, there is postgraduate students who are really looking and yearning to be incorporated into the system. And you're staring at them, you don't have the equipment, you don't have the, and they're looking at you like, please, doc, please help us. So those are the kind of pathetic situations we find ourselves into. But it gives us strength. The good thing is that these things are supposed to give us strength. Ideally, when you come here, I want to make it just a few of them. You tend to think that the basic equipment, like a weighing balance, like something for like a UV vis. No, it's not the case. It's you building things from scratch. There is not even the consumables. So you have to build everything from a scratch. This is what we face here. This is the first thing you're going to be introduced to a lab, and this is what you see. Probably if I had an interactive session, I would ask, what can you see? Somebody told you, and I sent him a photo, he told me I can see a towel by the window. So another one said I can see toenails. So, but this is the lab that we are given. This is my lab that I was given. Please develop this lab. So what do? You cry, and then wipe your tears, pick up, and on. But there's also when you talk about the crazy workload, what it means is that, for instance, in my school, we have both undergraduate and postgraduate classes. So we service education students. We have the science BS general, and we have our own, which is BSc physics. So you're supposed to teach this. And at the same time, we have the postgraduate. And Matthew, when you come here, there is the specialization at undergraduate is eliminated because we believe that as a PhD holder, you should be able to teach across. So these are the challenges that you come here, you're used to the specialization, then now you are faced to broaden your area of expertise. And of course, you also remember where we're coming from. you remember that you want to make an impact in the society, the community around you. Somebody like us are happy that Faridai just spoke for me and is doing a wonderful job in renewable energy. She is my collaborator. And this is something that rings a bell every time you step into the university. How can I make an impact in the environment, in the community around me? Seeing this smoke, the pollution, when we know very well that majority of this is coming from, that I have my pointer on. So majority of this is coming from, okay, trying to remove this from the screen. So majority of this is coming from electricity generation, and you want to contribute in generating a clean, renewable energy. And this is one thing that you don't forget when you come to the university. How do you make an impact in the environment, in the community around you? So these are the challenges that you face, and it is ringing a bell that the society, the community around me needs. They will be calling you to tell us about how to tackle climate change, and you have to contribute. So actively, we have to pick up. This is my favorite slide. That it gives me hope that there is potential to harness the sun to provide all our energy needs. That if I look at the energy coming from the sun, if I look at the conversion of only 0.2%, then even a tenth of this is enough to provide the global energy consumption. It means that we just need to come with strategies to make this a reality. I know it has been done, so we need to stretch and make our panels, our devices more efficient so that we can tackle this headache of climate change and having enough energy and a clean one for that matter. If you look at it in terms of the panels, that if you want to erect panels, let's say on the planet Earth, then the areas that you need to have that global energy consumption demand is so small. So it means that a small stretch, we are able to have a clean environment and then a clean energy consumption, right from just the sun, which is given freely. In a country like Kenya, we are facing the sun, we are along the equator, and therefore we have immense sun that is able to satisfy our needs. So where did I start from? So you go to the university, I've told you the challenges, I've told you how you feel like crying, but we have to pick up from somewhere. The first thing is to look at within the university, you can't do it alone. You have to pull together. So I come from this school, which is a science school. And the first thing I did was to have a collaboration that brings in a biological sciences and social sciences, for instance, in a grant writing, so that we can have fast funds within the university to run our research. So this is where we started from. And the first thing was to form research groups within the schools. And of course, this now brings in the multidisciplinary in the school, that brings in collaborations within the university, the schools. And of course, one thing that you don't forget is that move around out of the university and now within the country. Where can I get the right collaborations, partnerships that can bring or can drive my agenda? So this is one thing that we capitalize on. Look for colleagues who are like-minded, who are able to drive this agenda of ensuring that we have robust research within our universities. And of course, one person that you don't forget is your host, your former host. They always, like a shadow, they'll always be behind you. So you have to mend fences. You have to create a very working environment with this host, and they will always be there for you when you need them because they are always your references. So for me, this has been my reference. I've been a frequent visitor. I have friends, I have colleagues there, and they have been such a big pillar to ensuring that my growth in research is a dream come true. Then, of course, we have strong institutional support for quality research. And of course, that means that you have to knock doors where fundings are possible. And this is one thing that we can't live without. So my first challenge When I got here was an internal one. When you say knocking doors, so I was the principal investigator. Then we have 3 colleagues from my department. And then I remembered we have, this was my buddy at WITS. He used to do SBS. And so we teamed up and said, can we put up an application to get funding? And remember, list, and the funding opportunity was for doing DFT simulation. So that is how diverse you have to be. You have to be able to get out of your comfort zone. So we applied, and the first funding we got was 15,000 US dollars, and this changed a lot. So the first thing was to go to that lab and say, what can we do to this lab to make it better? So this is a DFT. So the first thing was to ensure that it looks like a lab. So we went, rolled our sleeves and went into the work, did all the workshops. And the first thing, this now looks like a lab. And then, of course, there was internet. It has to be communication. We have to ensure that there is IT involvement where people can have access to internet. So this is me trying to do the supervision. And finally, this is what we ended up with. So this is our first lab that we are able to for master's program. So these are our first students when we got to Kenya, and they are currently doing their second year of research and will soon be graduating. Then I decided to go out of the country now. And you're coming from an internal application and you are so happy, you are so energized. Then you hit outside there, and this is what you get. I'm sure you can read. I could only read the last one that says the selection committee has decided not to award the application this time. So this was a very important word for me this time. So I think when I finished reading it, it was with tears, but this gave me an encouragement that it is just for this time. So what did I do? I waited for 1 year later, and we made the application much stronger, much better, and therefore the story changed now. Now it was application has been approved and the amount is indicated. So this was our second grant of 54,000 US dollars, and the first thing was now able to at least get basic equipment for our labs, and we are able also to fund 6 more students who are also currently just enrolled for MSc. We are waiting. I've been so much grateful to Prof. Rudolph and Prof. Daniel Omwangi. They've been quite helpful in helping me get the right specs for the spectrometers that we need for our laboratories. And soon I'll be happy to report that we have an experimental renewable energy lab that is able to do basic measurements as we wait for to advance it even better. So this, colleagues, is what is happening inside. Now, then you get outside the university. What can you address? I sent a friend this photo on the left, this one here. And they thought that it was a Photoshop. This is a reality. These are kids coming from school in the evening. And the motorbikes in Kenya is a basic transport means, and it's very common. So you'll find when you come here, when you visit me, please, I have to give you a ride on my motorbike. I have a spare one, and to go to work. So this is a common scenario. And the first thing was how can we improve this kind of scenario? And so we partnered with the eSafiri, which is an organization that is bent in providing affordable and clean alternative fuel while increasing the adoption to electric mobility. So they are the ones to bring in place electric motorbikes, electric cars. They champion this electric cars. And the first thing is to look at electric motorbikes. And we've partnered with them to, in terms of the research aspect on what can be done to make this a reality. Now, these motorbikes, you look at them, most youths depend on them for their daily livelihood. You may think this is ridiculous, but on a daily basis, this person earns about 10 US dollars. If the rider spends 3.6 on fuel for just 150 kilometers per kilometers, then it means that his income is less than 5 US dollars. And these motorbikes are taken from companies that they are on loan. So you have to be paying them every month. So out of this $5, this person has to fork out another $2 or $3 to pay back the motorbike. So at the end of the day, he's taking home less than $2. So in case we want to improve this, then if we make it electric and we reduce the amount that is spent on fuel, then we increase also the capability of this person to take care of their families. And this is what we are coming in a strong way. And another thing is that especially women, they depend so much on selling on groceries. And we are also ensuring that we have renewable energy, which is applied to ensuring cold storage. And of course, this is very helpful in the community. So we have community-based organizations that we are partnering with. We are providing them with the research aspect of it. And of course, with our collaborators who are our donors to ensure that this benefit of renewable energy is felt around our community. Of course, if you look at it, it is very straightforward. That if I want to develop something, I will do a research on it, develop it, demonstrate that it's working, then send it to the community, send it around, diffuse it. It's not as simple as that. So we need a constant feedback between these stages. When you're in research and development, we need to have a feedback of how it's happening. And this is where the university plays a key role in ensuring that it forms an innovation system that gives the relevant feedback both to the consumers and to the suppliers of these devices. So we have also collaborated with the Glasgow Canadian University in the UK, and they have come up with a prototype where they have a wind turbine which is fitted with 2 solar panels, and now it is a prototype, and they want to now it is about to leave the lab, and it will be tried here in Massachusetts University. So we'll be housing it, and we'll be able to collect data on how effective it can be in the market. So guys, the main thing is collaboration, networking. So this has been helpful. I've been able to reach out to so many of you and different places, and indeed the feedback has been great. I am so much grateful to you guys, to my university. Of course, these two are in Kenya. This will always be a big brother to, because their doors have always been open. Of course, we have a strong collaboration with the UK, Oxford, which has started way back when I was still
Thank you, Dr. Otieno, for your talk. And I'd like to apologize to the audience for the hurdles. We had a number of problems here. Stop sharing, Dr. Otieno. Thank you so much.